Not that much. It is what it is. Okay. Back and forth with my glasses. I did that. I'll stay up. It will not. Okay, it is 5:30 a.m. Welcome to your morning mental workout. I am Dr. Donna Thomas Rogers, and we are here today to learn about real leadership as well as do our cognitive activities. So, on your own, go ahead and inhale and exhale 3 times. Good morning, Lola. Now I'm gonna have to split this here because I can't. And again, I wish I was not looking at myself because then this wouldn't be bothering me. Okay, that's better. All right. So today what we're going to do is we notice that I do not have on a brain t-shirt or a graphic tee. Why is that? Because I talk about, give me 1 second, y'all. This is okay. That's even worse. Okay. I talk about real leaders wear pink all the time, and I've said I have a book, but I have never really explained why I have the book and what it is. So I have my pink t-shirt on today because real leaders wear pink, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, the 74 principles of real leadership and how they came to be. So if you have a second device and you'd like to follow along with me, you can go to my website, theturnarounddoctor.com, and go to the 74 principles of real leadership. They are listed there. So here's what took place. Many, many, many moons ago, it was a dark, stormy night. No, that's not what happened. I was sick and tired of my corporate job and I was ready to leave. And so at the time, this was 2007, 2008, I was trying to find a way. I got to get out of this corporate job. So people said, "Oh, you are a great speaker. You need to become a public speaker." I said, "Okay, cool. How do I do that?" Well, it was actually 2008 because I was already Dr. Donna. They said, "Well, good morning, Regina." They said, "You need to be credentialed." As if Dr. Donna wasn't enough, doctorate in leadership wasn't enough. So you need a book. Because what happens is you can go speak for free, but then you can negotiate and say, "Well, I need to sell my book." And when you go to all these events, you can have a table, you can have your book set up. So you have to write a book. You got to be a published author. So I said, okay. At the time, I was speaking with my sister, and she had already written one book. So I asked her what to do. She kind of told me what to do, then abandoned me halfway through the project. So I had to figure the rest out on my own. But nevertheless, I self-published my book. And so I was 2008, and I said, I know I'm going to write a book about leadership. And so I said, well, what is it going to be about? And I said 101 ways to be a leader. It was something like that. I know I had 101 things that I was going to do. So I started out writing 101 things down. It wasn't working. I looked up the title. There are already books about 101 everything. So I said, that's not going to work. As I continued to whittle down the process, and I went back to when I was a young second lieutenant in June of 1996, stationed in Daegu, Korea, and I read Colin Powell's book. And I remember that joint was 600 pages. And I remember getting to 450 pages and saying, yeah, I'm good. Not going to be finishing this. This is not going to help me. And I made a promise to myself that when I wrote a book, it was going to be simple. You was not going to have to read it cover to cover, and anybody was going to be able to read it. At that time, the average comprehension level for people, even with bachelor's degrees, was at a 9th grade reading level. So I said, whatever you do, you got to make sure that people in the 9th grade or less, really and truly, can read this book and it can be understandable. So here is my book, Real Leaders Wear Pink. It is literally 100 and I think 76 pages, somewhere around there. Yeah, 176 pages, not excluding the acknowledgments. And the beauty of it is that it's a leadership guide. So you do not have to read this bad boy cover to cover. I don't know if it's back in stock because, like I said, the person from Canes told everybody to get the book, so the book was out of stock. I don't sell my book anymore. Economic development, there are wholesalers that sell it. Nola would kill me if I tried to sell my book again individually. We already been through that process. So yeah, here it is. Now, I am not doing an edit to this book. I'm not updating the cover. I'm not doing any of that. And here's for several reasons. When I wrote this book, I was literally commuting 120 miles to 160 miles a day because I was designed for Flint. I was designed for Flint. So if you think of Michigan, Flint is here all the way up to the UP. I was managing basically half the state of Michigan with regards to Frito-Lay. So I was already doing 120 miles to 160 miles a day commute. Nola was in kindergarten. I had a lot going on. I had 9 facilities, employees, and everything. And so I had to write this book in my downtime. So I always had my computer with me. I would stop at Starbucks for an hour, go write, and continue on. There are several spelling errors, a couple grammatic errors in the book, and I keep it all there so that when people tell me, you don't understand, Dr. Donna, I can't self-publish a book. And I say, well, was you managing half the state of Michigan, raising a 5-year-old, and commuting 120 to 160 miles a day, and pretty much 2 phones, and I was dating at that time too, because I could manage 17, 18-hour day. Anyway, the point is, I finished writing the book in 8 months with all that going on, and I had just come off of finishing my doctorate. So when people tell me I can't self-publish a book, bullshit. Yes, you can. You'll find a way, or you'll find an excuse, Jim Rohn. So now we're at writing the book, and I start because what I also don't like is when people write books and they don't use personal experience. And I'm talking about leadership books. I'm talking about business books. So they write a business book and they ain't got shit to do with business. They're just a thought leader with a book. And I'm just not cut from that cloth. I'm not about to talk about things and say, well, see, Apple did it, so you can do it too. And Microsoft did it, so you can do it too. I believe that if you do not have the experience, and Malcolm Gladwell does a great job of bringing things together. Most people can't write like him. So then people just write books, throw shit together, throw a bunch of stories together. And my favorite one is that people will get a book and get a bunch of experts together. I've been a part of 2 of those projects, and then put it all together and say, here is the book. I'm not cut from that cloth, and I'm not going to do that. So every last story, all 74 of them, are of me and my leadership experience from the time I started in ROTC in high school when I was a yelling, cussing, demeaning ass bully of a leader up until 2008, because the book was published in 2009. And I wrote the book in 8 sections. So that is why the book is called Real Leaders Wear Pink. Because for those of you who don't know me, I'm a little bit off the cuff. I'm a little bit country, a little bit of rock and roll. I don't like following the status quo. And so at the time, saying that Real Leaders Wore Pink meant, oh, well, it must be a book for women because only women wear pink, and it must be this feminine issue. And she's going to talk about how being strong and standing your superhero pose before you go into a meeting, you're going to let those men know. Absolutely not. Real and pink are actually acronyms. And REAL stands for realistic, effective, authentic, and leader-led. And pink stands for powerful, innovative, natural, and knowledgeable. And that's why it's this pale pink. I did it on purpose because people are like, oh, you got to have this power cover. You got to do all this stuff and make it look like leadership. And I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. So I got me with my nice little cute photo with my pink shirt on. And I had a pink silk blouse on with a skirt and some gold Gucci 4.1-inch heels. And that was other photos that I took at the time that I would display with my book. And I was saying, leadership can look like anything that you want it to look like. And it doesn't have to have this face. So the whole concept of the book is that it's an effective guide with tools that anyone can use to access to have instant leadership success. That's it. So anyone can lead, from the PTA to the boardroom. And I have said this on previous lives, you are the leader of one company for sure, and it's called Me Incorporated. And if you do not see yourself as the leader of Me Incorporated, you're going to have a lot of problems going forth in life. Because if you're expecting someone else to be responsible for you, you're wrong. You are grown, okay? Because my lives are for adults. So you are grown. So if you are waiting for the supervisor, the matriarch, the patriarch of the family to come save you from you, that's your major problem. You don't see yourself as the CEO of Me Incorporated. So you are the CEO. People say, oh, I can't wait to have my own business. I'm be the president, I'm be CEO. You a walking around entity right now. You are the CEO of Me Incorporated. So right now, everybody that's on this live, go ahead and type, I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. Everybody, even the looky-loos. I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. I'll wait. And it'll give me time to get this. I'm gonna end up pulling my wig off trying to get this one little piece back in place. There we go. How about I do this? Okay. For those of you who have just joined, everybody is typing, I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. And if you're too scared to type, I am the CEO of Me Incorporated, you on the wrong live. Because nothing else I say is going to work. And Lola, I think you might be at work. So I understand. But the rest of y'all, what the fuck y'all waiting on? Please tell me. Please explain to me what you waiting on. And for those of you who typed it already, kudos to you. What did that feel like? I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. What are the rest of y'all doing? Are y'all the ops? Y'all the ops. They won't let y'all listening in and they won't let y'all type that I always talk to my phone, especially when I'm saying something. I'm like, okay, it is saying this line is not secure. Okay. 2 chickens have got off. Okay. And so the other ones are the looky loos. It's like, I ain't typing that shit. Oh, I got I'm not. Woo! Like, you're not gonna be able to be a bad mofo if you can't say I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. Say it. I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. That's what I am. Who is I? Who am I? Who I'm is? I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. That's what I am. That's what I am. So you start saying that, your brain is like, hey, wait a minute. What's up with that? What? I'm the CEO of Me Incorporated. You sure are. You absolutely are. You are. And if you don't take that with you wherever you go, you got problems. If you don't know that you are responsible for you everywhere you go, you ain't never going to be best. You ain't never going to be a bad mofo ever. Ever. I will momentarily, Regina. Okay, and if you go to the website, Regina, it's actually on there. Go to the turnarounddoctor.com, the 74 Principles of Real Leadership. It breaks it down. So if you have a second device, you can follow along with me. I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. So the acronym for my book, Real Leaders Wear Pink. Real and pink are acronyms. Real is realistic. E is effective. A is authentic. And L is leader-led. P is powerful. I is innovative. N is natural. And K is knowledgeable. So after I got it down to 74, and it's 74 because listen is in there twice. Once I did that, then the acronym came because I was working at Frito-Lay and I was in the Army. So I was an acronymist at that point. And so I thought, what could I use that I could grow into? So we are now in 2025, and this was 2008. Quite innovative and disruptive at the time, if I do say so myself. And it has grown into all these other things. And I was at my corporate job, putting chips on the truck, which don't match Real Leaders Wear Pink. But I had already became Dr. Donna. So it was a natural progression to where we are today. And where we are today is amazing because now you are the CEO of Me Incorporated, because anyone can lead. From the PTA to the boardroom, anyone can lead. Leaders are made, not born. Anybody that told you they was born is full of shit, because I was not a natural leader. I mean, I had some things, but I literally was not getting people to charge up the hill with me at one point. I was in ROTC. I told y'all the story. It's in my book. I was such a terrible leader. Sergeant Morgenstern demoted me and put me back in my same squad so they could make fun of me. It's like, yeah, you thought you was empowered. Now, boom, no more squad leader. Get your ass back in that same squad. It's like, well, this sucks. Now I ain't in charge no more. Okay, got to do something else with my leadership skills. So now we're back at 2008. Feels like we're doing a flashback movie, right? So now we're back in 2008. Self-published the book. I start going around speaking, and I'm still in my corporate job. 2010, I leave my corporate job of June 25th, 2010. Then I moved to Las Vegas on December 17th. Left on December 14th. Arrived here on December 17th, 2010, and the rest, they say, is history. And so, yes, I needed a book. And yes, I thought I needed the book so that I could be creditable and be a speaker, but this is the Leadership Bible. This is the Leadership Guide to Success. Will I ever write another book? Absolutely not. No, we'll eventually do a docu-series on my life so y'all can watch that. Probably end up being a couple seasons because I'm pretty interesting. I had a bunch of shit happen to me and I survived it all. Still vertical and not addicted to any drugs or alcohol. So won't God do it? Hallelujah. My point is this, that there is only one book, and it is the Leadership Bible for real leaders. And the Bible that I use has 66 books in it, and the Real Leader Bible has 74 principles of real leadership with 8 different sections to it, and that's how it goes. The beauty of this book is that it is universal because the principles work regardless of who you are, where you are located, what you are, what point of your life you're in. None of that shit matters. It doesn't matter. And that is the beauty because by the time I wrote the book, I had been exposed to so many people from so many different backgrounds that I was able to say, this is how you become a real leader. So with that being said, the realistic, and I got to put my glasses on so I can read effectively. So realistic leadership is honest leadership, and it requires you to lead from 3 areas: your head, your heart, and your gut. So when we talk about empathy, oh, you got to be empathetic. That's your heart. Your gut is going to tell you what to do, and your gut is going to say, hey, keep you safe. Your heart is going to keep you human, and your head is going to keep you strong and powerful. So that's what being realistic actually means. Now, the principles under realistic are embrace change, be coachable, solicit feedback, eliminate clutter, get and stay organized, eliminate distractions, take risks, go for it, and believe in yourself. Now, notice, everything I said doesn't have a physical description. None of it has a physical description. None of it. It has no gender, no religion, no sexual orientation, or anything. It's just being a human being walking on the face of the planet Earth. That's what it takes to be realistic, leading from your head, your heart, and your gut, and being realistic about what's actually taking place. The next one is effective. Now, to be effective, the goal in effective leadership is to become well equipped so that you minimize or eliminate your ineffective moments. So when you are effective, that's where that whole don't do anything without a strategy comes from, because now you can be effective. And under effective is set high standards, be a thermostat, not a thermometer, create a strong network, stay focused, finish what you start, do it now because procrastination is the enemy. Handle conflict when it occurs, and go above and beyond. When you do those things, you are going to be effective. That is what we need. Once again, there is no physical description to effective. There is no, well, you got to be 5'2" and a half and 105 pounds. You need to be 75 years old. You need to be 32 years old. You got to be from the West Side. You got to be from the US. You got to be from Australia. None of that is there. Why? Because I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. I am the CEO of Me Incorporated. And if I want to be effective, I got to set and maintain high standards. I got to be a thermostat in situations of chaos and mayhem. I'm the one that has to create a strong, sustainable network. I got to stay focused. I'm the one that got to finish what I start. I got to do it now because procrastination is the enemy. I need to handle conflict when it occurs, and I got to go above and beyond. That's second mile service that came from the Ritz-Carlton. Yes, it's one book for everything. It is the Real Leader Bible. It is. And for those of you who don't believe in religion, you could just call it the Real Leadership Guide to Success. Ain't no judgment over here. Believe in a higher power or not, the choice is yours. So you're being effective. The next one is authentic, and this is my favorite one because you got to be authentic. And what does that mean? Being authentic entails being genuine and honest. Being genuine and honest. And it means taking the hard right over the easy wrong and never compromise your belief systems, your integrity to achieve a goal or win. So that means you're going to be yourself, you're going to be honest, and you're going to be genuine, and you're going to take the hard right over the easy wrong every time. And never compromise your belief system or your integrity to have a goal or win. Don't enter into no damn Faustian bargains. That's not being authentic. And what goes under being authentic? What principles? Be honest. Treat people with dignity and respect. Have eye contact. Motherfucker can't look me in the eye when I'm talking to them. I don't trust their asses. Absolutely not. Empower people. People have a tendency to say, thank you so much, Dr. Donna. You've motivated me. You've inspired me. That shit wears off. If you do a PA challenge, you're going to understand my whole thought process around motivation. That shit's not real. Empowerment means you give people what they need in order for them to succeed. So they don't have to keep coming back to you for some more motivation. I need some more motivation. I need some more motivation. No, once you're empowered, you got your own power. You plug into yourself at that point. Establish trust and be trustworthy. Who don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that they've established trust with and are trustworthy? Then say thank you. People don't say thank you enough. They don't. It's like, yeah, give me that. And they just walk off. 2 simple words, but they're extremely powerful. Keep your word. I'm old school. If I tell you I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And if I say I don't fuck with you no more, I mean that. With every fiber in my being, I'm going to keep my word 10 toes down on my word. You trust me. I'm from the streets, and your word mean a lot in the hood if it don't mean nothing in the business world. Be fair. You got to be fair. You got to be fair in a world where it's so unfair. Be fair. And then be objective. I've told you, don't make a decision without the facts. Sleep on it, gather as much information as you possibly can, but you don't make an emotional decision. You stay your ass out of that amygdala. Don't make no decisions until you get back in your frontal lobe where you are conscious and aware and you got all the facts, and then you make your decisions. Help others. Help others. Help others. Not help the helpless, but help others become their best. Not just help them up and say, all right, you good, but the best. You are helping others become their best too. Exercise tact. I told you I got demoted when I was in the 9th grade because I was yelling and cussing and everything in a different way. I was like, yeah, I thought leadership meant treat people like shit and I'm in charge. Found out that that's not the way it goes. So in the early mid-80s, I found out what tact was. Took me a couple more years to get it, but I got it. And then the number 12 in this one is admit when you are wrong. Unaccountable people ain't never going to admit they're wrong. And I, from the hood, thought if I said I was sorry, that meant that I was sorry. And I'd rather eat live insects than tell somebody that I was wrong. But the strongest people in the room can say, I apologize, I was wrong. Because the apology is for them. It ain't for you. If you wrong somebody, you owe them an apology. Point blank, period. And that's what it means to be authentic. And what we don't have is authentic leadership in the world right now. Ain't nobody, as soon as some shit go wrong, they did it. Them over there, we didn't do it. They did it. They did it. I don't care if you are in a nonprofit, in a Fortune 100, 500 company, a world leader, wherever the hell you are. Apologize when you're wrong. No. The only time people apologize is when they're about to lose their money, their job, their business, or they on their way to jail. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I repent for my ways. I did not mean it. I did not mean it at all. Okay, leader-led. The best way to lead is from the front. Okay, back in the day, if you watch Glory or any of those old movies, when they were still riding on horses, the general, the colonel was up front. Even if you watch Game of Thrones, Jon Snow, all them up front. Let's go, charge up the doggone hill. You got to lead from the front because people need to know where they're going and they're following you. Inspect what you expect. Inspect what you expect. So if you expect, and this isn't 12 steps, expectations is down payment on resentment. That's not it. So inspect what you expect. I expect my daughter to do a stellar job at every last one of her appointments. And if that doesn't occur, we do an AAR review afterwards to find out what the hell went wrong because I'm inspecting and expecting a standard of excellence every doggone time. The next one is visualize your goals. If you don't visualize your goals, you ain't never, ever going to accomplish them. If you can't see 2 levels up. So when I was a second lieutenant in the Army, I saw Captain Thomas. That's why I was reading Colin Powell's big ass, thick, boring book. Because it's 2 levels up. When I was a captain and I thought I was going to stay in the military, I was already Colonel Thomas. Because what happens is, if you don't visualize yourself being there, when you get there, you're not going to be prepared. because I had to say, okay, what does Captain Thomas need then? Let me do that now. So by the time I put them double bars on there, I was already in my element. People couldn't tell because you're a captain for 7 years in the Army, 6 to 7 years. They didn't know if I had just got promoted or if I was on my way to being major the way I walked around there. So definitely visualize your goals and always go 2 levels up. If you're a brokenaire and you want to be a millionaire, then you already got to be a millionaire up here in your mind, because otherwise you're still going to be a brokenaire and you can have $1 billion. It's up here and you got to see it. Learn to say we. You can't get anywhere by yourself. There, and people say, there's no I in team, but there sure is a me. Shut up. That shit ain't funny. Learn to say we. Learn to bring people along with you. Learn to bring them along with you. When I was doing the Glass Breakers panel, and this is when Hillary was running, and I was on the panel with the girlfriend from Ballers, Christy Yamaguchi, a bunch of people. Anyway, I'm on there. There's a picture of me talking, and everybody went first because I was the no-name person on the panel. And I simply said this. I said, the problem is, y'all get a seat at the table and you close the fucking door. I didn't say fucking, but I wanted to say it. You close the door. You close the door and you don't bring nobody else along with you. So when you say we are about to do this, you need to bring people with you. When I chartered the Toastmasters Club here in Las Vegas, I put them in positions that they had never been before in their life. Because I was already in with all of the doggone governors and everybody, the district leaders, because of the club that I started in. I said, you're going to need leaders. You put them from lunchtime talkers. Any leader that you need is coming from there. So I let them know that leaders were coming. And then I told them, y'all going to be the next leaders for District 11. So get ready and put them on. And as I mentioned, the person who now runs the Urban Chamber was an administrative assistant when I got there. And now she runs the Urban Chamber because of Toastmasters and me saying you the leader. You are the CEO of Me Incorporated. So you bring people with you. We going to change the world and teach people how to hold themselves personally accountable. That's because you got to do it in your community, because we're not all in the same spot, but we can all be real leaders in the world. The next one is be willing to follow someone else. I follow my daughter. My daughter is 22 years old. I'm 29 and a half years older than her. And we are at appointments. I'm saying she's in charge. And I've been saying that for 4 years. I don't know nothing about this shit. You looking at me to get that TV on the wall. Good luck. Because I ain't about to do nothing but tape it and vacuum up the drywall of the sheetrock that fell. That's it. So y'all need to be paying attention to her. And I am 51 years old and I got leadership running through. You cut me and bleed right now, RLs will fall out my bloodstream. But she is in charge. So be willing to follow someone else. Be the best. Be the best. Best is not people's objectives when they wake up in the morning. Number one, expensive. Got these bags. I'm on top. On top ain't the best. Best is best. That's the standard by which excellence is measured. And if you have a job and you've done something and no one came to you to find out what your best practice was or how you did that shit, you're not the best. Yesterday, we had an appointment with a gentleman. We put together a desk, these stand-up desks from Amazon. We throw them together, no problem, because it ain't had nothing on it. And a door lock. And the person that hired my daughter said, you know, I had other taskers before, but I saw you and I kept scrolling. It was 5-star, 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 5-star. It was like, man, you had a bunch of 5-stars. She got over 1,000 5-star reviews. And he said, it was right. And he literally said, and I'm going to mess this up and she probably going to correct me. I think he said the hype was real and efficient and great. It's something like that. Because why? Be the best. If you going to do it, be the best at doing it or don't do it. That's how I am. If I feel like I'm not going to be the best, I'm not going to put my all into it, the answer is no. Be the best at the thing that you're actually doing. Delegate. When I got to the military, I thought, oh my goodness, I got to be able to do everything because I got to get credit. I found out quickly that shit don't work when you got 30 people in a platoon. That's not going to work. You're going to have to start delegating. So you need to delegate. And plus, delegation is grooming. It's succession planning. So when you delegate work to other people, you are giving them that skill set. It doesn't make you look like you don't know what you're doing. And let me do a caveat. For all these motherfuckers that's lied about their positions and don't know what they're doing, and now you're going to make somebody else do your job, that's not delegation. Okay, your ass need to be fired. Okay, you stealing from the company. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying delegation It's basically grooming so that the person will know what they need to do. So I delegated a lot of things in Toastmasters. I delegated things when I was at Frito-Lay. I sat down and did one-on-ones with everybody once a period and taught them what they needed to do. Here's, oh, you want to get promoted, you want to get that job, go back to school. That's delegation, okay? This, I'm going to make you do my work and then I'm going to take all the credit for it. That's some unaccountable ass shit, and I hope you go to hell with gasoline draws on, okay? Because that's not leadership and that ain't delegation. Okay. Anyway, I've been on the receiving end of people in positions that did that shit to me. So, not a fan. The next one is remove obstacles. When you decide that you're going to do something, obstacles are going to come in your way. And the reason why they're there is to strengthen you. That's what they're there for. So when my daughter and I are putting stuff together in a very tiny position and we're trying to get it done, that's an obstacle. But now we can put stuff together damn near in a closet that needs to be done. So you have an obstacle and you're not a real leader and you're unaccountable. First thing you do is start crying and complaining. They didn't hit me the right upside and I understand. And they don't make no sense. They not on my side. And racism and sexism, gender, they don't like it. How you going to get stronger if you don't remove no obstacles? Where your mental and physical strength going to come from if you don't remove obstacles? They're there to strengthen you so that you can use that strength and that information and that skill set for the future. That's what obstacles are there for. And if you see them as anything else, you weak. And you could go back to Loserville as far as I'm concerned. Think positive. You got to think positive. We did research about 2 weeks ago. Negativity bias has been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. You have to think positive. And it ain't no, I think I can. I think I can. No, I'm positive that I'm the baddest mofo walking around the world. Why? Because of everything that I've done. And because of all the work that I've done, I'm positive that I know what I'm talking about. So you got to do the work to think positive. I'm positive I'm about to accomplish my next goal because I'm going to be strategic. I'm going to make sure that I have everything that I need before I start. I'm going to have this strategy and I'm going to execute this strategy. That's how you think positive. But this whole, I'm going to say these affirmations every day. For the amount of fucking affirmations in the world, why are adults still not their best? Why are they not personally accountable? If affirmations work, why ain't shit working out? If all you had to do was think it. The Christian Bible says faith without works is dead, okay? Positive thoughts without action is negative, and the shit ain't gonna happen. You know, I just gotta believe it. I gotta believe it. I gotta believe it. I gotta believe it. I'm positive. And then you sit your ass back down in your comfort zone and don't do nothing. That's not gonna work. You gotta think about it and then go be about it. Okay, that's how you get positivity happening up here. And you got to stay out of the damn amygdala because that's where all the fight and flight, fear, and negative shit is happening. So the first thing you got to do is get to your frontal lobe so you can actually start thinking positive. You got to think. When you are in a fight or flight status, you're not thinking straight. So get out your amygdala, get in your frontal lobe, and now work towards thinking positive. Next, provide coaching. I'm coaching my daughter all the time. We call me cadre. When I'm at positions, at appointments and everything with her, I'm providing coaching for you now. And it's not this, I'm a life coach. And so here's my program. And I'm going to tell you what to do. That shit don't fucking work. Coaching means that you stick to the fundamentals and you teach people how to be their best. You find out what that individual person needs to do in order to become their best, and that's what you coach them on. You don't have some blanket ass cookie cutter method that's supposed to work for everybody. It's individualized. People that are in challenges get individualized information from me when it's necessary. It ain't no, that's why I have so many YouTube videos, because you might need a video that Regina might need a video that Nola doesn't need, and Nola might need a video that Regina doesn't need. That's why it's over 10,600 resources for you. That's real coaching. What do you need to do to become your best? Not just everybody just be personally accountable. Okay? Yeah. Cookie cutter. The next one is be prepared. Prior preparation and performance prevents prior preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance. There we go. So be prepared. If you're not prepared, don't do it. Leverage the experts. If you don't know, go ask an expert that does. My daughter, we got a relationship with Carl at Home Depot because when she was learning things, you go to Home Depot and Lowe's in the morning. That's when the retired old heads are there working, and they will tell you everything that you need to know. Everything that you need to know. So ask experts. Number 13, hold everyone accountable. That means yourself and you. That's under leader-led. Leadership. Holding people accountable is how everybody gets to be their best. Personally accountable is how you get there. And reprimand privately. Reprimand privately. Do not reprimand people in public. Now, when some unaccountable trolls come on my lives, they started this shit in public, and I'm going to finish it in public. But reprimand privately, or people are going to start to resent you. Leverage your strengths and understand your weaknesses. So use your strengths. Do not try to keep focusing on your weaknesses to strengthen your strengths. You got to do weaknesses one at a time. So you use your strengths to support one weakness at a time. That's how that goes. And then talk to people, not at them. So talk to people, not at them. And when people are micromanagers and terrible leaders, they will talk at you. They will say all kind of shit all sideways, and then wonder why there's all this resentment in the workplace and at home and everywhere else, because you're talking down to people. You're making them feel inferior and less than because of your superiority complex. And so now you're just talking at them. You're not going to get no results that way. Now we're on a powerful. So pink, powerful, powerful. Never give up and never quit. Your success is derived from your ability to draw from your power to achieve excellence. Your power begins with 3 letters. C-A-N. Can. That's where your power is at. It's in a can. It comes canned up. You could go to your local grocery store and go down the can good aisle and pick you up a can of can. No, that's not how that happens. Can makes the impossible possible. I say it all the time. Turn your can't into a can and your how into now. Can is what makes the impossible possible. Can. So if you say I can, then you have a strategy and you go after it. You can do it. There are so many things that I've accomplished in my life, even when people said I couldn't. That's your ass. Move out the way. Let me show. I'll be back when I show you that I can. The story that I use quite often is when I was an executive officer at a basic training company at Fort McClellan, Alabama. I went back to school to get my master's degree, and Captain Leitner told me, Lieutenant Thomas, you're not going to be able to get your master's degree. You got to wait till after you go to Cast Cuban Command. I was like, shut the fuck up. 18 months later, I went back up to him because I was petty, and I still reserved 2% of petty. I said, hey, Captain Leitner, remember when you told me I wasn't going to be able to get my master's degree before we shut down and left? Well, guess who got their master's degree in 18 months, still being an executive officer and then an HAZ commander? Me! I did it. Well, that's great, Lieutenant Thomas. Yeah, that's what I thought. Can makes the impossible possible. Swim upstream. When you swim upstream, you got the currents coming towards you. So you are swimming upstream, everything else is coming this way, but guess what you're doing? You're heightening your strength and your ability to be aware of what's taking place around you. So that's the equivalent to removing obstacles. I'm going to go upstream and I'm going to be so much stronger than you. In corporate America, they call that headwinds. So you're going against the grain and you're pushing forward. When you swim upstream, you're going to find out how strong you are and then where you're weak, and you're going to strengthen the areas that are weak. Again, going back to the other one of leverage your strengths and understand your weaknesses. Quitters never win is the next one. Quitters never win. They never win. If you quit, how can you win? Now, why would you quit? Hijacked amygdala, you don't believe in yourself, inferiority complex, people are trying to stop you or whatever it is, but you can't quit. You can't quit on you because you're the CEO of Me Incorporated. So if you quit on you, then and you don't win, you don't get to sit in your comfort zone and start talking shit about people who kept going. Don't get mad at them because they're not a chicken shit and you are. That shit's on you. Point blank, period. Always persevere. So persevere during times of adversity. I could be the poster child for adversity. It seems like every time I show up somewhere, adversity is like, hey, how you doing, Doc? Come on over here and have a seat. I'm gonna make this so this is gonna be adversity 6.0. Okay, that's what we're gonna do with you. Now sit down and let's see how much shit we could throw at you to see if you're gonna still keep going. So and persevere, keep going. Keep going. And the way you do that is you stay in your frontal lobe and you stay strong and you remember, visualize your goals, why you're doing it, and you just keep going. And then finally, failure is not an option. I have failed many a time in my life. Many a time I have failed and I kept going. Failure teaches you what didn't work. This didn't work. Let me find something that does. If you are now, trust nobody to say, I've never failed. I've never failed. Get the fuck away from me because you ain't never tried nothing. I want no parts of you because you a problem. You're going to be sitting in the comfort zone somewhere talking somebody out of something. Yeah, see, that's why I don't do that. I don't do that because, see, if you fail, then people are going to laugh at you. And that's that inferiority complex coming in, too. To say, I'm going to stay over here, right here, looking like I look and doing what I do because I'm not going to fail. Right. And your working memory is going to be atrophied as hell. And ain't nobody going to be able to have a conversation with your dumb ass in 5 years because you sitting over here and I ain't never failed. So absolutely not. Innovative. So innovation brings fun and excitement. Innovation is invigoration, and new ideas bring new life to you. The number one thing for innovation is to have fun. If you are not having fun, don't get that shit is never gonna get done. You have to have fun. If you looked at my topic on paper, and it is basically the theory of personal accountability, the 74 principles of real leadership, and now wiring the neural pathways in your brain to become personally accountable. On paper, that don't sound sexy. That sound, if you was reading that in the course description, you'd be like, yep, not taking that. Nope, it's an elective and I'm electing not to take it. But then you come here, you're like, whoa, who knew that it was leadership was this exciting? And wow, I can become my best. And I'm learning about the brain. So have fun. The next one is embrace diversity. Embrace diversity. Embrace it. All the way back from 2008, I'm still saying embrace diversity. People who can't embrace diversity have confirmation bias and conformity bias, and they don't want to learn about someone else because it makes them uncomfortable. So it's better to say you're wrong, and it's better for you to act like me so I don't have to understand you. I'm going to say that again. It's better for you to act like me so I don't have to understand you. But when we embrace diversity, we get so much more. If you think about gumbo, people throw all kind of stuff in gumbo, and boy, if you get it from somebody from Louisiana, you're going to lick your fingers when it's all said and done. It's just a melting pot, and it tastes so much better. The more things you put in it, the better it tastes. And that's what we need to do as a human race. As human beings walking earth, we need to embrace diversity, because when you do that, everybody gets to access best, and you get to take things from other people. Some of the recipes I've had since the mid 90s because of people that I met and interacted with when I was in the Army. I know so much more because when I'm in an environment, I'm asking questions and saying, how do you do this? How do you do that? So if you have an issue with diversity, I got an issue with you, and you could go back to your fucking comfort zone and be regular. Okay? Exit stage left. The next one is start achieving. Instead of saying I'm working, start looking at it as something that you're achieving. Oh, I got so much work to do. I got so much work to do. I got so much work to do. But when you say, look at how much I'm achieving, look at how much I'm accomplishing, now you have the wherewithal in the frontal lobe to keep doing it. You want to reward openly. Reward openly. For those of you who finish challenges, that's why one of the reasons why you get a certificate, so you can be rewarded for your efforts. You did something that people may or may not have known about, but here is your certificate to show what you actually did. So it's open rewards. And as adults, very few of us actually get awards going forward. And then every now and then you might get something. You got to wait, get your 5-year at work, your 10-year, you retire. Now you get a gold watch. More rewards openly need to take place. And that's why I also give out real #real leader swags when you're in challenges too, because that's another form of rewarding openly. Think forward. I say grow forward and think forward. If you think backwards, you're going to go backwards. You got to think forward. I am thinking about what I'm going to do when we get to 6 billion adults. Holding themselves personally accountable. You got to keep thinking forward, because in those moments when adversity strikes and you strike back, if you're thinking forward, you can keep going forward. So think in the direction that you want to go. Challenge yourself. That's what the challenges are for. When you challenge yourself, you are going to initially create cognitive overload, but then you're going to get that information and that skill set, and it's going to make your working memory work better so that you can navigate through your day better, and then develop your vision. Your vision is for you. So your vision can change. Mine has changed a myriad of times, but the vision that you have is for your life. So when I was a second lieutenant, my vision was to become a colonel and get all the commands and everything that I wanted. And now my vision is 6.8 billion adults are being personally unaccountable. So every day I come on live, I do things behind the scenes to encourage people to hold themselves personally accountable to become their best. But you have to develop your own vision. Natural is next. We have one left after this. Natural leadership means that you focus on enhancing who you already are. I'm going to say that again. Natural leadership is that you focus on enhancing who you already are. Your personality is in your frontal lobe. And when you are focused on natural leadership, you are just enhancing the personality that's already there. You can't be fake as a $7 bill with your face on it and then expect any natural experiences whatsoever to happen to you. You're not going to be the real you. This whole notion of fake it till you make it, don't do that shit. Just make it. That's it. So how do you access your natural leadership? You grow continually. I am not the person that I was 30 years ago. I'm not the person that I was 5 years ago. I'm not even the person that I was last year, because now I'm talking about the brain. And last year I was working through some personal things. I just used the live format and people were there working through their shit too. So grow continually. Number 2 on this in this section is eliminate stress. A stressed brain cannot function. You are going to be stuck in the amygdala, in the limbic system, trying to accomplish something. So you have to eliminate the stress. That's the people, the places, and the things that are stressing you out. I'm perimenopausal right now. I read a book. It's called dang it, it'll come to me. It's a book on menopause. And what I learned in that book is this, The Silent Passage. That's what it's called. The Silent Passage. It's actually a great book. And hot flashes come from caffeine, hot foods, and stress. So if you are experiencing a hot flash, you done had too much caffeine, you done had too much food, or you got some stress around you. And that's why people say, oh my goodness, they done went off on me, because you were a stressor. So eliminating the stress ensures that you can stay in your frontal lobe and you can continue to function. Get rid of it as soon as possible. Be flexible. If you don't bend, you're going to break. So if you say this is how it is and I'm going to be this way and I'm not changing, you are going to break. And so I'll give several examples. Number 1, when Snapchat first started, I thought it was stupid. Then I realized the benefit of Snapchat lenses, and so I use Snapchat every day. Number 2, I thought Jiffies were stupid. And then I found out the benefit of Jiffies, and now my Jiffy page is at 16.9 billion views. Didn't want to use an electric screwdriver. I'm flexible now, so I'm now starting to use an electric screwdriver. And there are many more examples, but you need to be flexible in order for you to grow continuously. Now, carry only what you need. Here's a story that's in my book. When we used to go to the field, my rucksack and my duffel bag had a bunch of other stuff in it. And I would be in my tent with my platoon sergeant saying, dang, my ruck is heavy, my ruck is heavy. And he said, LT, you are not their mother, you are their platoon leader. Carry only what you need. You got all this extra stuff in here in case somebody forgets something and all of that. You are not your mother. That's not taking care of them. If they forgot it, they forgot it. So carry only what you need, mentally and physically. If you find yourself carrying everybody else's shit, drop that shit back off to them today. Go run some errands and say, here, you left your problem from 1997. Here you go. Take that back. So only carry what you need, so your posture, you can make sure it's tight, it's above your back, and you can mentally carry it or physically carry it. So you, if you have to swim upstream or do anything from an adversity perspective, you have enough strength because you only got your stuff. You don't have everybody else's stuff. And what happens is when you are in an unaccountable existence with people in Loserville, be well, and people with Loserville, you carrying all their stuff. And they walking around traveling light. Like, come on, what's wrong? Why you taking so long? Because I got the whole fucking family shit on my back. That's why. Here, all y'all secrets and all this other stuff, take this shit and go. This ain't my stuff. This ain't my problems. I don't have none of this. Here you go. And now only carry what you need. Smile and laugh often. It is my mission every day when you come to a live or experience something with me that you smile and you laugh, because laughter feels good and it makes you want to continue to do something. So laughing and smiling has to be a part of your daily. The next one is be likable. And I've talked about this before. This is not do anything for likes. This is actually for the people that resonate with you. Be likable for them, because when people like you, it's simpler to work together. It's simple to collaborate, and it's simple to handle conflict when it occurs. So that is what I'm saying. It's not about being class popular with a popularity self. It's popularity contest. That's why it's natural. So you're naturally who you are, and people who are naturally who they are will like you because of the naturalness that is you. And then number 7 is listen. Listen. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen to what people are saying. It's not a debate. You're not waiting so you can come back with some slick shit to say or any of that. Actually listen to what people are saying. The thing that people are so fascinated by is my daughter's had over 2,100 appointments, and sometimes we could go a year, 18 months, 2 years, and not see the person and come back and tell them what we built for them, ask about a pet, a spouse, a job, a business opportunity, whatever we talked about while we were there, have total recall of what took place. And they're sitting there like, wow, you remember that? That was a year ago. That was 2 years ago. Because we listened. So listen. And I didn't used to be a good listener. And so I understand what it feels like when people say something. I'm like, I don't remember you saying that. What'd you say? Oh, no, because I'm waiting. Hurry up. So I can refute what you're saying or get it over with, because I got to go back and do other stuff. So listen. And then the last one is knowledgeable. Applied knowledge gives you power. The more you know and apply it, the more you grow. So people say, yeah, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. If you don't apply that shit, ain't no power gonna happen to it at all. You have to apply what you know in order for you to grow. Okay? You gotta apply what you know in order for you to grow. So what is under knowledgeable? Be technically competent. My daughter first started in business, she was not technically competent. When I first got to everything that I got to, I was not technically competent. I wasn't technically competent in college, ROTC, the Army, Frito-Lay, nothing. But I became technically competent and was rewarded and awarded for that. So be technically competent. Take the time. Do not skip steps. Don't be on Quizlist and Cliff Notes and Chat GTP and all this shit, because real skills are always going to be there. You can fake it if you want to. Somebody is going to find out that the emperor has no clothes on. Know your business. Whatever business you are in, how many times have you been on here and I have referenced the military or Frito-Lay or something else, because you have to know your business. And now that I know that it is neurological, the reason why you can't hold yourself personally accountable, I study the brain and parts of it every single day, because I have to know how to use this organ and this resource to teach you how to use it so that you can learn how to become personally accountable and become your best. If you don't know, ask. Ask questions. If you don't know, ask. And ask until you get the answer. School taught us, don't ask no questions, especially if you got a teacher that was a horrible teacher. Parents, everybody, don't ask me no questions. Why you guys ask questions? You ask too many questions. Yeah. Ask as many questions as you want. Go find the people that have the answers, because that is how you become technically competent. You can't become technically competent just sitting there watching through osmosis or something. It's not going to work. And read daily. Every day you need to be reading 15 minutes or more nonfiction. And if you sign up for Real Leader Resources, that's one of the requirements. What did you read it, and then summarize it and tell me what you read every single day. Because knowledge that you have, if you can't acquire any new knowledge, guess what happens to your working memory? You ain't got no new information, and it ain't gonna work no more. It's gonna be unemployed. So reading something nonfiction every single day lets your working memory know, here's some new information, here's some new information, here's some new information. And now you will always have a working memory that's always working. Focus on the results. Focus on the results. When I was in college and I was broke, I used to tell people my money is tied up in investments right now. When I had to eat Trix cereal for 3 weeks because I only had 65 cents after I bought my books and everything, every day I said, my money's tied up in investments. This is my senior year. I'm about to be finished. I'm about to be a commissioned officer. So focus on the results. Do not look at where you are. When you focus on the results, that enacts your faith. So you're believing that something is going to take place that's not here currently, but you're working towards it. So focus on the results. That also helps you to persevere during times of adversity, and it also helps you to remove obstacles because you are focused on the results. And then number 7, meet your potential. And as I mentioned yesterday, you can have multiple potentials throughout your life. So when you have a strategy and a goal and you accomplish that goal, you've met the potential for that goal. And then you move on. And then you have all of these best potentials that you bring with you, which makes you a very good CEO of Me Incorporated. Now, the bonuses are these 3. Take naps. A resilient mind is a rested mind. I have been a nap taker my entire life since I was at ABC nursery school. Love nap time. I have always taken a nap. I will go to sleep and wake up and refresh, and my brain, I will start processing information even faster from a nap. Relax. Relaxation reduces stress levels. And I mentioned this, I think, 3 days ago. We used to have free Saturday, one Saturday a month. We would just chill for the entire Saturday. From the time we woke up on Saturday to the time we woke up on Sunday morning, you gotta go and get some downtime for yourself. Don't take too much damn downtime, though. Some of y'all on damn 15 years worth of downtime. That's not the same thing. You relax, give the mind, the body, and the spirit time to regenerate, revigorate, and reinvigorate, and then go ahead and do what it is that you need to do. And then the final one, again, is listen. It's so important. It's listed twice. You can only hear when you listen. It's so important for you to listen. So important. With that being said, what questions do you have for me regarding why I wrote the book, The 74 Principles of Real Leadership, or anything inside of any of them at all? And I know I went fast. I was attempting to get it all done. You can come back and watch it again. Ouch. Yes, you are asking questions about real leadership. You are asking questions about the book, anything that I've covered. Where'd I get my pink shirt from? Ha ha ha. Walmart. You ain't got one question, Kevin. My 5 WS's, great principles of real leadership. Okay. All right. What's my 5 WS's, Regina? Okay. All right. So now we're going to go to the poll question and get the results in the spirit of staying on time. Oh, the who, what, where, why, when, and how. Okay, got it. Not today. You doing good, Kevin? Because you've been quiet. Are you good? Okay, got it. Thank you for that. I know what Nola's talking about was at the time I had colorful leadership, and I was going to have real leaders wear white, world leaders wear green, world leaders wear red, and they were going to all be acronyms and under the real leader principle. And so, if you think about people with the Fish series, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens and Adults, and all the Rich Dad Poor Dad, and all of those. So that's what I was going to do in 2009 and 2010. And my answer is, I don't wish that I would do that, that I did that. I think if the internet and social media hadn't turned into what it turned into, I probably would have done that. But now, knowing that the average person only reads one nonfiction book a year, those would have been books that I wrote and people would have potentially not read them, because people don't even finish books that they start. So they don't finish it. How many people have unfinished books? I mean, all of my books I get used from Savers and Sahara Library because people bought the books and never read them. Thank you, Regina, for that. So I don't wish that I did colorful leadership anymore because it wasn't going to be. Yes, because Nola didn't like asking questions, even if it was to her own detriment. So she didn't like asking questions. Yeah, Kevin, I said, are you good? What answer that question? Okay, and then the word of the day today is question. A sentence or phrase used to find out information. Question. A sentence or phrase used to find out information. So the word of the day today is question, and you're going to use it 5 times and ask people questions. And then finally, my follow-up from yesterday, what is it that you value most about yourself? So remember, value was the word of the day for yesterday, and you were to assess what you value about yourself. And then today, come back. I gave a lot today. Okay. I went fast. I was like, blah, 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 like that commercial back in the day, that guy in the 80s that used to say stuff so fast. I recognize that. I understand. Y'all got cognitive. Do y'all have cognitive overload? If you do, let me know. You can go ahead and raise your hand. Use your raise your hand emoji to say cognitive overload if you can. So if it was cognitive overload, let me know. The whole point is that going forward, when I have on my pink shirt, I will go section by section and talk about it, because I need to incorporate that in there. Because if I'm telling you about your brain and I got to make the connection of how it's actually connected to the principles of real leadership, that is the whole objective, is to do that. So now you can understand it completely. So what you're typing up, and I know I asked a bunch of questions back to back. What what is it that you value most about yourself? Yes, a lot of information. Cognitive overload. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't want you to have cognitive overload. I was just attempting to get it to you in like an overview of it. Y'all was like, fire hose. Like, damn, all of that is in her brain. And so Regina, you were following along. You know that that's not on the website. The only thing that's on the website is the actual thing. So everything else is up here. It's up here. Okay. So what is it that you value most about yourself? And I value my ability to learn new information consistently. That's what I value. My thirst for knowledge and applying it. A slide presentation. Lord, no. So if you want to know what my kryptonite is, because Superman was my favorite superhero. Oh my God, Kevin, you have just enacted a hot flash. You just stressed me out. So let me tell you about my PowerPoint presentations. In the military, you go to what is called CASCU, Combined Arms General Staff School. And that's where you go after the career captain's course, and they call it Death by PowerPoint. And you literally spend 6 weeks, because they teach you as a captain, because you're going to have to start briefing joint staffs and higher officials and everything. So they literally teach you how to do PowerPoint presentations. And I had the hardest instructor at CASCU, where he was like, okay, go to that slide, go back. Okay, that title is not at the same line as that title. So between that and CIMT, and when I was at Frito-Lay every week after we were in onboarding for 14 weeks, we had to do a PowerPoint presentation with slides, because it still had a slide projector back then. And so we had to print them out. If you put those slides in the transparencies in the copier, they'll melt. So yeah, PowerPoint. And when I spoke, I used to do my presentations with PowerPoint. So okay, got it. Yeah, let me know on the replay. So what I can do is go back over intermittently each one of them. It was more of an overview, but Lord Jesus, I'm over here hot. Okay, so what do y'all value about yourself so we can get out of here? See, stress. I told y'all earlier that stress, hot flashes come from stress. But I did well. Did really well. And all of my book reviews too. That's what it is too. For the first middle, I think, Nola, you can help me out on this. I think from 52 till about 8, all of the book reviews were PowerPoint presentations. They're on the YouTube channel as well. I value that I'm kind and have a tendency to make a joke when a situation might be uncomfortable. The purpose is to diffuse the situation. People end up laughing, and I'm able to lighten the moment. I can understand that. And as a teacher, I understand why that's what you value as a retired teacher. Okay. Yeah, so I value my ability to have to take knowledge. I'm really good at taking complex information and making it so that it is digestible and understandable for people. So that's what I value. Because if y'all had to see the neuroscience stuff that I look at, I go every now and then to mess with Nola. I'll show her something. And it's like, nope, not me. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I'm telling you, y'all be like, so you use that and you drew the conclusion to that from this article, from this video? How? How? All right, Kevin and Nola, and Lola, if you are available, what do you value most about yourself? Other than valuing that you don't have the mission that I was given in life. I value my willingness to learn simple things that make huge impact in people's life. Got it. And then Nola, or did you jump off or get kicked off? And then the final thing for today, excuse me, is what did you learn today for the drive-by of Drive by. It was like y'all thought y'all was at doggone Indy 500s, like zoom, 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 and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Okay, Matiko G, I value that I am self-motivated person who is willing to learn no matter how challenging something is to learn. That's awesome. And then Noah said my ability to never give up. Okay, so what did you learn today? Yeah, I got it. What did you learn today? That I could pack a lot in an hour. And you do what you also learned is, could y'all imagine if I was a college professor and you came to my class, how much more you had me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 50 minutes, or Tuesday and Thursday for an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes. And what the midterm would be, it would be no damn chat GTP. You would not be able to use AI on me. Because I would do oral exams, 15 minutes per student. And you would not know what the question was until you got to class. I learned I got a review of the Real Leader Principles. Okay. While you're typing, are the Real Leader Principles, let me see how I can preface this question. Do you understand that you'd have to have 4 days? Yes, I'd be a Monday through Thursday class. Learn, only carry what you need. Yes. So here's my final question, because you all know I'm always improving every day, asking for feedback or how to make things better. My question to you is, I have said what the principles of real leadership are intermittently through lives, and now I've given you a very quick overview. Did you know that there was this much thought put into them and how they're still relevant and useful today from, what was that, 1810, about 18 years ago, 17 years ago, that they're still applicable today? So what I'm basically saying is, I didn't just write the book. Can you tell that I didn't just write the book for 2008 because I was told you need a book for speaking, but that this book would be the book for people forever. Sort of like The Science of Getting Rich or The Art of War. If you don't understand my question, let me know. Then that is my last question for today, because we all got to go. So I guess the question is, did you understand how much detail and thought went into creating the 74 Principles of Real Leadership? Okay. And Kevin, Lola, or Regina, or MG, Matique OG. These t-shirts were poorly made because they pucker right here. That's why I don't like them. Kind of big for a medium. Are y'all answering, or are we done? Yes, and it still hits today. Yes, ma'am. So Kevin or Regina, did you have a response before I get out of here? If you type ... or are you typing? No idea. It's like you wrote it with the future in mind. So I was thinking forward. So I was actually using one of the 74 principles of real leadership to be forward thinking. So no, I didn't realize that the 74 principles can and will stand the test of time. No, I had no idea regarding your process and experience that contributed to the 74 principles that contributed to 74. It was extremely helpful to have you, and I know, discuss it in depth. Right. And so y'all can, and it came from higher power this morning, because I was actually going to do Ask Dr. Donna, and I was looking for a t-shirt, and I was torn between my red t-shirt and my pink t-shirt. And then they said, go ahead and do Real Leaders Wear Pink. So first of all, this was literally, I even discussed it with Nola yesterday that I was doing Q&A, and woke up this morning with a whole different process. So this was 100% impromptu, extemporaneous, and I just said I'm going to go grab it off the website and go from there. I did have cognitive activities for you. We will do those tomorrow, but I did want to get the poll question and the word of the day and the follow-up. So today's question: have conversations with people, use the word, and then ask questions today. So practice the principle of real leadership. If you don't know, ask. If you don't know, ask. So I think that that's it. This what? Damn, y'all, was it that bad? Oh my goodness. I have you in my ear. I'm always here listening. Sometimes I can't find my phone. Thanks for everything else. Oh, I know, Lola, if you working, I will leave my gloves. Sometimes my gloves will be in my back pocket. I'll go in 3 rooms looking for my gloves, and I've been sitting on them on my fatigue mat. So yeah. So what I will say, ladies and gentlemen, is that's why I said don't come in my head, because like being John Malkovich, you'll run out. You don't want to be up here. A lot of stuff going on. I do simplify it. That's why sometimes when I'm talking, I might stutter step, or double dutch, because it's coming down so doggone fast that I literally have to go, okay, calm down. So now you can appreciate when I'm in my normal life that I'm actually delivering it, so you can actually get it. Because otherwise, it'll be 100 miles and running. For real, for real. Be Usain Bolt with this doggone information, or FloJo. 100%. So yes, that is why I do not teach college, and I teach y'all here, and I give it to you in spoonfuls so you can get it. But it's important for you to understand that there was a methodology. She calls me water hose. She does. Basically, it's a fire hose or a fire hydrant, honestly and truly, because anybody that had, and Regina, you from New York, so when y'all open them fire hoses up, you put that cup or that can on it so you can filter the water to which way it goes. It is powerful. It will knock you behind down if you turn the water on. Yes, and having the big picture helps me have perspective. So that's the whole point of today's live, was to say, okay, all of this brain stuff, why? So this is that 50,000 foot look down to see what's actually happening. So now when we come back tomorrow, you can understand neurologically 74 principles of real leadership, the theory of personal accountability. How does that all come together? So now this was all well thought out. It's not something that I'm just going, yes, I'm gonna make some money doing this over here, and then I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna switch. No, I'm just expanding and expanding and expanding. But this started way back in 2008. So no need to write another book. I've just expanded it since 2008. So thank you very much, Kevin. Watch the replay. Again, I will add this to the rotation. It is necessary for you to be able to put it all together and then understand the benefits of the 74 principles of real leadership, because they actually work. It's what I've used my entire life to navigate through my entire life, personally and professionally. It's why I'm still vertical and still sane. Some would argue a little bit cuckoo, but anyway, as sane as one can be, having walked in the shoes that I've walked in for 51 years and some change, soon to be 52 in May, higher power, God, and universe willing. So yeah, so that is the objective. It works. And so I will end with being a little petty. So look at how articulate and intelligent I actually am. Yes. Okay, I'm done. You all go off and have a great rest of your day. Use the word of the day. Again, get ready. The pink t-shirt will be out and about. And we will, I'm just 2% petty, because sometimes you got to go there. An unaccountable person will make you have to go, oh, sweetie, you thought you was doing petty. I'm going to show you petty, because I'm going to be the best at petty. You can ask Nola. She called me petty and was like, I will never do that again. I said, oh, I'm going to show you petty. So I even best petty. If you're going to do something, be the best at it. So be the best pettiest petty. Just like you look up petty in the dictionary, it's going to be a picture of me doing something very petty that you will definitely not do that again. You'll be like, nah, I'm good. Because it will come back to haunt you days, if not weeks and months and years later. Yeah, so don't start, no, won't be none. Yes, you all go off and have an amazing rest of your Sunday. We got some work to do, and hopefully I can get a nap in today between appointments. If not, it's okay. I'll be back tomorrow, God willing, higher power in the universe, same time, same place. One of my other t-shirts. Y'all take care. Adios.